Hello, darlings. I'm a bit of a mess. Don't know why. Probably not. But I gotta tell you, anyways, I've just been going crazy with my creative self. I have classes every day Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. So the universe abundantly responded to my requests, and now I'm balancing everything, which I'm pretty happy about. I'm very much on cue. But I admit sometimes the chaos goes and you get all over the place. So the universe had it this way that because I was just in a class and it is about expressions and stuff like that, and it's about mindful um, performance art, um, and about telling your story through that performance art, and it's a wonderful class. Unfortunately, I was triggered in the class, but I took a good, safe, healthy choice and left the class. And there is peer support in my class. And I've talked and touched base with them. And I'm very proud of myself because I made a very healthy choice in that moment. Um, Big discovery with myself, um, which is I don't like it when people judge my body. And I know I shouldn't be telling you that, but I'm telling you that because I'm dealing with that now. And the problem is somebody had said that they had wished that they were as tiny like me, and that they were skinny. And I remember being big, and it wasn't that long ago. And I actually chose to put on weight, and in that it did something with my body. I ate too much yeast products, and I ended up getting candida, which ended up having to result to making healthier choices, watching what I ate. And the thing is, I still I admit that I eat bad. I admit it. I cheat all the time. I'm bad for Mars chocolate bars, rockets, the sweet tart candy. So, and I know I'm terrible for it, but it's my body kind of took over, and I was forced to this. So I really want more weight on my body. So I eat more protein based things now to build my muscles and things, because I'm not in my skin anymore. I have a lot of skin, and I miss a lot of big components of my body. So I felt really compelled to share that with everybody. Um, I think that we all feel uncomfortable in our bodies in certain situations, and spirits really put it in the forefront for me, and it's something I'm definitely going to be dealing with and am dealing with. I'm glad I didn't have makeup on today because I was crying my face off. An hour ago, I was a blubbering mess. Um, but I took time, I meditated, I asked Spirit in, and Spirit said, let's go. Let's do this. And I'm not prepared. I got no notes today. I just know that I'm supposed to give a reading for the new moon coming up on Wednesday on the 6th. It is a new moon in Libra. It's about new perspectives. It's about taking all that balance and taking some bold boundaries in your actions, and creating your safe space, but also creating a safe space for others and moving forward. Um, this can be applied to anywhere in your life: relationships, self-relationships, your creative self, in business, in love, in family relationships, all of the above. And I'm noticing personally a lot of shifts going on. Um, I've always been a people watcher, and even today, stepping outside my door, talking about reactive states, um, there was a lot going on in my neighborhood. My whole neighborhood was involved. The police were involved. I stepped out. My neighbor made a joke. Good morning, sunshine, because I came out fuzzy little robe at 1 o'clock, and I was just doing a self care kind of a day and getting my chores done, um, preparing myself for my class because it's Saturday, right? Um, so it was kind of woo, the police are here, and there's 50 people running around, and it was chaos. And it was chaos over, I don't want to say minute because it meant something really big to them at that moment, and obviously to a lot of people. So I know that everybody's really on high alert, and it feels like it's been like that for the last few days. including myself, because even today I was triggered. I mean, right now I left my whole class. I just typed really quickly in the chat room in the Zoom meeting and said, and allow the other person to have their time and space, but I've been triggered and I need to leave. And I'm proud of myself for that, because then I knew that I wasn't going to react that way, and I was taking time for myself, and I'm still going through it because, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I also need to make sure that I'm good, right? Or like as Dr. Joe Dispenza would say, I am in that space of creating the future that I wish to be. And crazy enough, but that's what that class is about, in a performance art way. I'm actually going to show you something. This is probably not going to be perfect because I was screwing up lots doing it. But this gets your left and your right brain going, and I just learned this today, and it's really good. Like, it's like very mindful, but it's like active, like with yourself. So I guess I left class, so I don't know the other techniques. I will speak with my teacher about that, about getting those techniques, but I do have notes and stuff that I can go reference to, which I'm happy about. So anyways, so you have your both hands open, and you leave your right hand open, and you close your left one. Fist it up. What you do is, when you put your right thumb in, and as you put your right thumb in, your left thumb comes out. And then you put your fingers down, but then on your right hand, and then your fingers on your left hand come up. But then it continues on. So then it goes back. So I find it easier for me, personally, to do it this way. So, but let me tell you, you really do use your brain, like, to think it. And my teacher was just like doing it like a pro, like, and I was like, and what an amazing teacher she is. She's like, I took my months. She's just so honest. Amazing teacher. So blessed to have that in my life. So I felt so compelled. Well, I think the Spirit's like, get out there and talk. We've been trying to get you to share your story in your voice. Let's do this. So I'm going to share my story in my voice. It's coming to that point. So it's part of like an exhibition that's coming up. Part of my community that I'm in. I mentioned several times I'm an artist, but I'm part of a community of people that are dealing with mental health issues, recovering addicts, and getting a voice through artistic mediums. And it's an amazing journey, and I feel so blessed to be able to have this journey, and being able to share a lot of the things that have gone on in my life with others, and how I pulled myself in and to keep thriving and moving forward instead of just surviving. If there's any tools that I can give anybody else in their life, anything, I think that's what we're meant for here on earth, not only to create, but to share. And as we share experiences, and we share in community, we share in our heart, we share energy, we share intentions, and I believe that's what changes the world, because that's what changes us. Experience, feelings, thoughts. And it's very important. So for me, I'm very worried about carrying shame with my story. There's a lot of shame and guilt with my story. I carry it. I'm thinking about my teachers right now, because I have a couple of classes about this. And yesterday I didn't even show up on camera for my class. I couldn't. I was like, I just cried. And these women shared their stories, my classmates, and I just need a moment. Phenomenal spirit of women and people who lived through trauma is incredible. It was one of the most inspiring moments of my life. these women bared a story of truth, strength, resilience, thriving, hope, and it was raw and it was real and it wasn't desensitized and there was no judgment. I related with these women in such deep and profound ways. And I'm learning that our voices are important and it's important to share those voices. So whoever's listening to this, know that your voice is important, that whatever you've gone through, whatever trauma it is, you don't have to reside there. You can rewrite the story. I'm not saying that's going to be easy, but it's definitely easier than what you've already gone through. The trauma was the worst part. And you're here. And look at you. You've survived it. And it's important that you tell people that you survived it. It's important that you take that journey and own it. So I major hard time with owning success. It's all part of my trauma growing up, and a lot of it. So I'm what you call complex. I am layered and layered. And I haven't ever shared this, but I think I'm going to, is my trauma started in the womb. People that come out of abusive families or parents that work together, and there's abuse while the child's being created. I have learned that there's memories that go in my body from that time. And I learned that about 16 years ago, and it was really hard to deal with because how do you remember a time in your creative period? Right? Like how do you resolve that? I found creative ways to do that, by the way. So that's why I'm hoping that I can help in the tiny bubble of the world, is everybody has their thing. And for me, it's right from the womb. I still work on my conditioning and actively changing my life and transforming it. And that's why it's so important for me personally to share, because I get something out of this too. And my big hope obviously is helping another, being able to sit in front of a camera and look at it and speak to it. I didn't recognize these things so much as important. I always kind of put it off. I've had people over the years saying, like, you're dimming your success, you're dimming your light, I was like, oh, it's okay, and I minimize myself a lot. And I just feel so compelled to say, don't minimize yourself. You're such a big light. Do not minimize yourself, whoever you are watching this. Just don't do it. You're amazing, just the way you are. And the coolest part is that even though you're being your amazing self, you are connected. We're all connected. And taking that journey within yourself, you're worth it. You're worth to take the time and effort. And it might feel uncomfortable at first because you don't know how to do that. And let me tell you, I'm the queen of distraction. I remember cringing at the word meditation. I ended up doing my own meditations just to listen to my own voice, because I couldn't listen to other people's voice because it was either too fast or too slow for me. So I did it in my own pace, and it made a big world of difference. but it's only, again, a stepping stone because I'm learning other meditations, right? As a practitioner and giving meditations, I'm strongly believer in like still being the student, not just the teacher, right? Like you continue to learn new practices, you continue to learn new things. Even with crystals, there's always new crystals coming out, new crystals and stones. Um, there's so many minerals, crystals, stones, and rocks on this earth. There's like, I can't personally remember them all. So I always keep a reference. I always, trust in the stone as itself. Um, I was also taught in a way though when I was younger with stones that the stone talks to you. And I believe everybody has this ability because we have our intuition. And I spent a lot of time with rocks and stones as a kid. So, pet rocks, well, I had a whole bunch of them. So, I'm embarrassed about that for some reason, and I shouldn't be, but I feel like I'm ready to get to the reading and not talk about how I talked to crystals and stones as a kid. But I really did enjoy that. It is something that used to drive my mother crazy, which was my little job back at her. Because I would jingle when I walked, and have sounds of shells and stuff. I would collect snail shells, any kind of shell I could find, any kind of rock, crystal, stone that just vibrated and called to me. Because for me personally, I can hear them vibrate. I can hear them sing, is what I say. I call them singing. This one here sings kind of like, I would say almost like a baritone level, and I feel like this one here really stabilizes in between like the second and third chakras. It's like kind of what I hear from it. I think that's the best I can do. I'm kind of monotone myself, but it's like is what I hear from this beautiful citron. It's a beautiful citron. Here, let's get this right up to the camera. Oh, she's a gorgeous one. She came to me via the Earth store, which unfortunately is closed down. And that was just before the pandemic too. She's got her layers there. Gosh, it looks like it's so reflective on the camera. Her energy is really coming through. Well, I see that anyways. I'm not sure if the camera picks that up. So I have my energy eyes on, is what I call them. I've learned different things over the years, like how to turn your eyes on and off for certain things, because I just gotta say it. When you see dead people, you see spirits and ghosts and things, you have to learn how to turn those things off. Because it's just like in your own reality, right? And then if somebody else doesn't see it, you're like, sorry about that. So, but sometimes it's even more awkward because when you see it and you're speaking to somebody and they're like, oh, that's somebody that's passed away, blah, 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 blah. And for me, it was always embarrassing to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, or like I would just feel very awkward at first. I ran away from a situation. I laugh when I get nervous. So if I laughed, please don't take that in a wrong way. It's just me because I get really nervous about that situation, because there have been some awkward times for me personally. And I've learned how to kind of keep things in check now, right? Like, so if I start seeing those things or I start seeing signs and omens, I know I need to tap in. Like today, I went to go do it last night and everything wasn't working electrical. I know that there were some solar flares coming in. I heard there was a ring. Even my phone's kind of a little bit so, but it could just be spirit too, waiting for today. I mean, I always say like the universe runs the show, and I'm here for the flow. But as we're flowing, we get to create, along the way. But our little purposes come into play, So, I've, as you can see here, this is a black mirror. It's for scrying. So, and I've used, using the Earth Magic deck today by Stephen D. Farmer. Let's see. Oh, and on the bottom is Rainbow Blessings. That's so cool. Around the amethyst. Okay, cards. We're gonna set the intention for the star seeds, the sensitives, anyone that's coming to this channel. What is the message for them? What does the universe and the earth and all the collective have for this new moon? Oh my goodness, oh my gosh. I felt like a lot of energy come out like really quick. Purification, oh my gosh. So there's gonna be a lot of purification. And I'll bring the card up. I felt like somebody's like, bring the card up. Okay, I'll bring the card up. Rain, purification. Ooh, it's reflecting. A lot of self-reflection. Ooh, oh spirit, you're on fire. Yeah, it's sticking. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. So a lot of people are coming into their ancient wisdoms in this new moon with their new perspectives. Yeah, oh wow. Okay, so Spirit says, as a collective, this new moon, people are really putting seeds into collaborations, which is Libra moon energy. Collaborations, like with people and bringing people in. So I'm getting this feeling like all these collaborations are coming together, and these energies are creating a new breath for us so that we can all breathe, that we're laying the groundwork. We know that we're setting these intentions. We know as a collective, I hear Spirit saying, because we're getting signs that we know what we're manifesting is coming true. And we know scientifically now, which is giving us even more manifestation power, because then it's giving that juice to belief. Oh my goodness. Sorry, Spirit. Spirit's like, put that card back, we are not finished. So I'm getting a sense of like, with the collaboration, oh my gosh, like in the prophecies, the 13 are coming together. So the 13 knowledges and it's going to create like one big new knowledge for everybody. Because people were wanting it. The right people are needing it. Oh my gosh, I do this so I can really relate. Setting energy grids on the earth. I'm hearing more and more people are setting energy grids on the earth. And, oh my goodness, this makes me giggle. That the more nature mandalas and the more artwork that we're creating with Earth herself is bringing in that more creative action for Earth herself to create. Oh my gosh. And it's recharging. It's like opening all the right portals. Oh my gosh, it's so much information, Spirit. I'm like, whoa, it's a lot of information. Hang on, let me decipher this. So there's all these things that are going on the planet that we all know about. Like these things like CERN. And we know that all that active energy is there. Oh my gosh, there's somebody that asked me about this just recently. We were talking about this. So shout out to Gaelic Becca. Spirit's like, shout out to Gaelic. Angelic Becca, shout out, shout out. I'm hearing like giggling. Hang on, there's a message coming through for a few people here now. Oh my gosh, Spirit, it's getting a little bit crowded here. That's the message for Gaelic, Miss Jellic. However that resonates with you, sweetheart. I felt somebody was like pushing saying, no, we're gonna get back to CERN. Like, okay. And they're saying when we're making these grids, we're doing the same thing as CERN, but we're doing them with more intentions and love. And as we do that as a collective, we have more energy behind them. And we know how to work with crystal energies and water energies and earth energies and fire energies and wind energies and sun energy and all these other energies, all these collective energies, energies of spirit and ancestral, that we can collectively use these energies because we've created grids before. And that's the ancient, what's coming out. Our ancient healers are coming out. I'm actually getting a sense like there are people that have like all 13 wisdoms. And they're stepping up. Wow. I'm seeing so much right now. I'm just like, woo, okay. So there's a lot going on with this new moon. Let's go. What do we got for our collective? Oh my gosh, a whole bunch. The full moon completion. So we're going to be going to the cycle until the full moon now. So the new moon to the full moon is going to be like all about these grids and intentions. Neato. Yes. Communion. Oh my goodness. Spirit told me to read this card. That this will answer the rest of everything. Okay. Communion. He said this will really resonate with people, the picture. Yeah. This Spirit's like, everything will be finished on the full moon. Some might take a few cycles because some of this is like personal asking. It's not just about grid work for the earth. Because people are understanding that they need money to make changes too. Incredible. Incredible. You guys are incredible. Oh wow. Oh my gosh. What beautiful energies are. Oh my gosh. That was beautiful. Knowing that you need that money to make changes because that's how that world works. So smart you are. Wow. Oh no, read. Okay, sorry. See, Spirit doesn't let me get distracted. And you know what? Right to it. Eagle, just so you know, Spirit's like right on track right now. Booyah, they said read, say 57 and 56. 57, 56, 57, 56. Oh my gosh, I forgot my glasses. The unicorn's gonna entertain you for a minute. I'll be right back. I gotta grab my glasses. I have a pair right here. Oh, my Suki's here. Suki in the house. Come on. Nope. Oh, somebody might have an itchy nose or a sniffle. This is, I guess, is like really big for you. Oh, okay. Wow, that one burnt fast. Interesting. The lavender burnt fast, so I feel like that energy on the right hand side of you is much more than the energy on the left. That's what's coming through. Eagle, communion. Here the man and the eagle make contact through their eyes and spirits. The man has performed the ceremonial calling to Eagle Brother, who now comes to him as a familiar friend. It is an intimate relationship between human being and feathered being, one of both spirit and flesh. Yet it is ultimately this deep spiritual kinship that connects them, forms them to the recognition of the sacredness of this bond. Eagle spirit is often associated with the highest and noblest, encouraging us to let our spirit soar. Through this communion, we know that we can touch the sky. We know that we can become more than just two-legged creatures clinging to the ground. We're intimately related to all life on this planet, and it's through communing with any expression of life that we realize how vitality connected we all are. Whenever you experience a heartfelt communion with someone some physical expression of life, plant, animal, human, or anything else. It is only then that you can truly feel how your life force is familiar to the life force that is all around you. It is only a matter of differences in form. An essence is articulated into physical world in a multitude of ways. That is the same in everything and everyone, although it manifests in various shapes and characteristics. This essence is spirit emanating from the core of all things. Communion with nature is essential for you right now. Take some time to do an open-eyed meditation with any nearby animal or plant. Yes, I heard spirit. Relax your body as much as possible. Breathe consciously and keep your attention on the life form you're communicating with. After a few moments, you will notice a sense of boundaries dissolving, a melting of the I and thou. You may even receive messages or impressions as you find yourself in the flow of unspoken communication. So spirit's funny, because they always are. We're going to finish this, because I know that was deep for somebody, and I'm going to lighten that energy for you. And I feel people going, I don't know how to do this. Well, guess what? The one why spirit's funny? Because there's a plant right here. There are also plants right here. There's also seeds, pinecone. Put that in the side of the night. There's also an acorn. I believe I have 2 acorns here. Ooh, one's in her hoo-ha. Oh goodness me. So, how to communicate with the plant, animal being, crystal stone. It's pretty much along the same lines. It takes a lot of patience, and you gotta trust your intuition. If you see my crystal video, you'll know that I invite you to sit with the crystal and to relax and sit with that crystal. Trust in the intuitions you're getting, the feelings, the images. Maybe you feel like an organ comes into play or something twitches. You can hold it in your chakra systems and sense how it feels in each one, and take your time with it. I mean, you might resonate with this in your throat chakra. This might resonate right now in your brow chakra. Like, everything works in a different way, right? And we're all different chemically. I mean, we have some balance and baselines, but there's also individual, because if you have lymphatic issues, there's crystals that will work with that. And then you can also program master crystals, because not everybody can afford those. And you can also program like regular stones to dispel the negative energy. But be sure to ask the stone before you just pick one up. So, with plants are very psychic. I believe they're the most psychic thing on this whole planet. Like, really. Like, they're a little bit one more up on trees. And the reason why I say that is because they're more reactive than a tree, and they move quicker than a tree. So, I never want to cause any harm to this plant, and this plant knows that. And even though that there's smoke going over and around it, this plant knows that there's smoke going around it. It knows the heat, it knows the variations, it even knows that I'm here. It knows that I'm talking. It probably knows, well, I know, not probably, it knows my thoughts before I even speak them. That is so cool, right? And the reason why I know that is back in the day, the guy that made the lie detector test was sitting around, and he thought, I wonder what my plant does if I hooked up the lie detector test to it. And he did. And he watered it, nothing happened. And he did all these things, he fed it, nothing happened, fertilizer. And one day he struck a match. He was lighting his cigarette, and all of a sudden, and he left it on, and it went zzz. He knows something happened. So he spent years dancing around plants with matches and stuff, and intentions with scissors, and he discovered that the plants react. They have now discovered that a plant will faint, so it won't feel it. So if I took a pair of scissors right now and I wanted a clipping from this plant to start a baby plant, it would know that. So it would know when I went to go cut it. So it knows that I'm not going to cut it. I'm trying to send the intention, I'm not going to cut you. And that you love this plant. You know, you've heard about talking to your plant. So to get in communion with this plant, you simply sit with the plant. You know, start asking wonder questions. This is something like I put across the board for everybody. Ask your wonder questions. What color is it? I wonder what color it is. And you look at it and you see, I see green, but I also see white. And you see there's brown in some places in that. And then you start wondering about other things because then you're looking at it. Oh, I wonder, you know, when it splits up, there's a V shape. I wonder why that stays brown. I wonder if there's a sticky solution in there. I wonder if there's a smell to it. I wonder what it feels like. I wonder, you know, and then a lot of people get into the medicinal properties of it. Sorry, it felt wet. I was like, wow. Normally it doesn't feel wet. So I was like, huh. And I watered it like 2 days ago, so that was interesting. It was very wet. So maybe this plant brings a lot of moisture to the air. And I just discovered that right now. And I do know what this plant is, and I do know that this plant cleans the air. But maybe it cleans the air like more of a humidifier way, like brings it in and maybe soaks it up this way, you know? So something else to look into. And I love that because then that's building the relationship with the plant. So, and you can do that with everything. It's just a discovery. And to keep along, you can have a journal and write down your questions and stuff. Look at that. Or you can make yourself a pen with pampas grass. Make yourself a fancy pen. If I had a pair of scissors, I would cut it right now on an angle. And you could use some wax. You could use magical ink. You can use food coloring. They say, or paint. So, I mean, anything's possible. And that's another way to build relationships with a plant. So, I don't have any problems cutting pampas grass. That's what this is. It's very pretty, but it's very invasive. So, I try to cut it and use it with a lot of stuff. I call this the Canadian bamboo. I don't know if you can see at the end here. Some of this stuff gets pretty big. You can see the end. I use this in my nature mandala. What I did is, you break it. I usually use scissors, but it's pretty versatile just to cut. It's not as thick as bamboo. Some of the other pieces, after you dry it, it's best to cut it when it's a little bit wet to your shape and sizes and let it dry. But this sticks in the ground. Let's see if I can show you here. Sticks in the dirt. Boop. It's a little wonderful thing, and it biodegrades. You can shape it into things. You can make little mats with it. I like using these things more for like outdoor purposes, not so much indoor purposes. But you can use them for indoor purposes. Talking about grids and stuff, you can use these to build grids. So now I have this piece. Let's break it a bit more. And let me show you this way. Oops, that. Where it meets, it's pretty hard. So I'm going to use it right here. Ooh, just like pampas, it just goes right off, eh? Just like bamboo. Put that short in there. Maybe I use long in there. I'm going to take short here. There. Boop, boop. Just kind of give you an idea that, you know, you can glue it, tape it together, twine it together. Hope you can see this here. Communication. Yep. Oh, look at that. It rolled down. It was like fit it perfectly. Just above the card. So with the seed, you can hold the seed. And you'll most generally know what your seed came from, which tree. But if not, you can still just hold it and discover it. Whenever you're touching anything though, I do encourage you out nature is to look it up first so you're not touching anything that's going to harm you. There's like nettle plants, there's poison ivy, there's poison oak. Sumac can be very like aggressive on your skin, especially people who are very allergic. Um, I admit over the years I've kind of built up a tolerance to it because I pick it every year, and I also make it into a lemonade. Um, but it's something I took great practice with, and other people should too, before you start consuming any wild edibles. But with a seed, you can just sit and hold it. Maybe think about how it would sprout. I wonder what it would look like as a full tree. I wonder where it would like to grow as a tree. I wonder about the bark. I wonder about the animals that would live in it. I wonder about the fresh air it would give. I wonder how many people would hug that tree. And I just keep going deeper and deeper. You know, I wonder what kind of other medicines it can give, because it gives medicines to all these animals. You know, and when I start diving into hugging and interacting with a plant or a tree in my wonders, that's where I start noticing I start picking up the medicines. And just trust what you have. I do suggest you, like again, have some sort of notebook or perhaps your grimoire. Oh, today I'm doing unedited. I'm just going to send it in. So this here, you know, I've written tons of stuff over the years. This is my grimoire, or one of them I should say. It's one of my very first ones. Seagulls and stuff like that. I've done all kinds of things in here. Some of it's even messy. You know, it's my fairy hair. I don't know if you can see that or not. Fairy recipes. So I open it up here, and it's a 7-day luck spell. So it says, what does it say? A saucer, a cup saucer with a little bit of water and a white piece of paper to write wishes. You place the wishes in the water when you're finished, and you put a candle in the middle a little bit and light. Every night before sleep, okay, I remember the spell now. It's been a while since I did. So you have a teacup saucer, a teacup and a saucer. And in the teacup, you put a candle in the teacup. So it's a freestanding candle. So a little couple drops of wax on the bottom, plunk it down, and allow that candle to burn. Do not blow that candle out. Then you have your pieces of paper. And you can have as many little pieces of paper as you want, but it's best suggested 3, 6, or 9. Anything above there, that's where it kind of gets wishy-washy, and your wishes can intermingle and it can get crazy for you. So in the teacup, you have your paper that will go into the water, but then you pour the water into the teacup. Now, the kind of water you use is up to you. So you can use magical water, or you can use intentional water. Intentional water is water that comes from whatever source, and you just put your intentions into it. And I highly suggest that you put like a little pinch of salt or a little pinch of an herb in there that you feel compelled to draw into that water, in that intention, just to give it that little extra like boost. When it's magical water, it's come from an earth element. It's come from the sky, it's come from a lake, a river, it's come from essences, it's come from something, from a magical source. So that's the difference between magical waters. So when you put your wishes into the water, you allow the wishes to go in, and as you put it in, you got to do this for 7 nights. So the candle will burn, and once you put the last wish in, you do not blow out the candle, but you snuff the candle. And on the 7th night, you let the rest of the candle burn out. But for every time that you start that spell, the candle gets lit, not with a lighter, with magical matches, which could be even just a regular match, but set the intention into the match. So everything about what you're doing There's intention, 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 and it just layers and layers onto that spell. And the final day, when you let it burn down, um, you can say, I summon earth, fire, and water and air to protect me with the strength of a bear. Let me be healthy, let me be wealthy. Lady Luck, shine your light upon me. So shall it be. And whatever feels right for you. Yes, and so some of the wishing colors I put here, pink and red is obviously for love, and purple is for spiritual and intuition. Black is for getting rid of or releasing any kind of obstacles. White is divine, gold is abundance. I like so much abundance. But abundance can be anything. It's health, wealth, career, anything. It can full circle, right? So, and yeah, and that's it. So there's a little luck chant here. I'll put in here too. So I really like doing this one. I have a couple of braids in my hair right now, and as you can see, they're different colors. One's black and one is red. So it says, when you do this one, I have a different one that I did with this because I know this quite well. You can put a feather in your hair at the end. My daughter particularly likes this one. And so as you're braiding your hair, it's the Akoda's luck chant. Lady Luck, stay at my tail. Let your magic never fail. Negativity will be flailed. Your gifts of luck have already been mailed. So you can switch it up any way you want. But you sing the chant, you put it in. And again, you can wear 3, 6, 9 braids. Each can be a different wish or manifestation. You can just braid it. The feather is like the extra touch because feather is like a receptor to spirit into the universe. So when you add a feather to it, it's like putting an antenna on your wish. So I think that's a lot of information for everybody pretty quick. And I'm not going to overdo it on you. I want to say I've gotten a couple emails about Halloween stuff, traditions and rituals. Like I said, this is my favorite book. And I'm going to do one more thing here. This one is... So it's a Halloween trick. So you can use soap, butter, or petroleum jelly, but I don't really think petroleum jelly is good for the environment, so soap or butter. When your family wakes up, what you do is you grease the doorknob, or you soap it, because if you like grease it, somebody might get mad, so soaping it's like a little bit better, because then it's kind of like washing it. But when they wake up, there'll be great confusion as they try to release themselves from their bedrooms. The first person to escape, this is like a whole thing, so bedroom to bathroom, so they actually have it staked out all the way to the bathroom. So I just suggest doing the trick of the soap on the bedroom doors, on where they go in, and then close the door, and listen in the morning to everybody trying to get out. Trick or treat! Happy Halloween! Thank you, my lovelies. I will be back shortly. I have another like kind of busy week, but I do have more time to put out another extra few videos. I tried to put out a few extras last month so that it kind of balance out for the first couple of weeks of October for me. It's art grant writing season, classes have started, everything's like blah, 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 blah. And I also had that installation I was doing, so plus I have a lot of other things on the go, to tell you the truth. I've been manifesting like crazy, and I'm just trying to keep my balance, lovelies. So thank you so much. I so appreciate you. I appreciate all the emails I've gotten. You guys are amazing. I appreciate the comments that I've gotten, and I appreciate your patience and your trust, and for listening to me. So much love. I want to hear about what you're doing in this new moon. You can comment that down below. I would love to hear what you're trying to manifest, because when you bring more people into your intentions and you let people know, you're actually spreading that out. Nobody's going to take that from you. What's going to happen is the right people are going to come in and start collaborating with you at this point. So make sure that you're sharing with the people that you feel safe with, and that collaborations are a big part of this new moon, and that this is a big time to commune with spirit because the veil is thin. Ancestors, and it just doesn't have to be ancestors. It could be ancestors from 10,000 years ago you never even met, you know. It could be ancestors from the star systems, because a lot of us are star seeds, and they've incarnated only the first time here on the planet. So you can go and talk to your ancestors that way. I mean, there's so many different ways in your ancestral lineage. So make sure that you think outside the box, and whatever you're thinking or feeling or the images that you're getting, trust it. You are like an expression of what is creator right now. You are the creator, and as you're creating, there's no wrong in it. And the reason why is because you are creating. That is what makes you creator, and creator is going through you, and you are the divine starseed. Thank you. Much love.